No, 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 no. Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface, and before we get into my top 10 video games of the year for 2019, we have a channel sponsor! The wonderful people at BenQ, and I say wonderful people because both of my monitors, which I'm using now, 27 inches, ladies, 4K, are BenQ monitors. So when they got in touch and said, "Hey Az, how would you like to test our new screen bar e-reading lamp?" I said, yeah, thank you very much indeed. And I'll tell you why. I have to record under these really harsh lights which wreck my eyeballs. So after I finish and I turn them off, it seriously reduces the amount of light that I have available to me. I gotta admit, my main lights aren't too great. So this light bar here is fantastic. It can attach to the top of my monitors. I can position my webcam on top of it as well without any difficulty whatsoever at all, and it provides a ridiculous amount of light and is so easy to use. Yeah, I think my keyboard might need a little bit of a clean. All the features for the light are on the bar itself, but if you get the Screen Bar Plus, they come on this funky dimmer. Simply click in the middle button to turn the light on and off, turn the dial left or right to determine the amount of light you want. The left button adds the auto dimmer feature, and then the right button switches between the dimmer light and a nice warm orangey light or a cold light, depending on which one you want. You can then switch back to the dimmer and determine the level of light for those as well, and press it back in to turn it off. It's that simple, and only takes about 2 seconds literally to set up. Just click the light bar into the counterweight, position on top of your monitor, and then plug in the USB. Done. Providing you with all the light that you could possibly need, and me, so I can make all those notes on those pesky Batwoman episodes. In all seriousness though, this computer desk lamp has been a revelation for me, allowing me to turn off the harsh recording light, allowing me not to have my desk cluttered up by a big overhanging lamp either. I can game away or I can get on with notes for videos, etc. And it doesn't add to the harshness of the light in my eyes while providing a ridiculous amount over the desk area and the monitor itself with no reflection back on it either. This Screen Bar gaming light is available now at Amazon, and I've linked in the description box down below both the US and UK links to it. Adjust it to your own country where you can. Also, I've provided the link to the BenQ website directly and their Twitter if you've got any questions about this product at all.
But wait, there's more!
The lovely jubbly people at BenQ have given me one of these to give away to you. I wanted to use it as a Christmas present. I could have just shut my mouth. Just shut my mouth, giving it to somebody for Christmas, being like, "Hey, look what I got you." Oh, wow, dude, that's really great. No, but I got to give away to people. All you have to do to potentially be in a chance with to win one of these, and I'll ship it anywhere in the world, I don't care, is simply like the video, bribe, and also put a comment in the comment section down below, and I will reveal the winner in Friday's video. So be sure to tune in to there. Right, now on with today's video. Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface with my top 10 video games of 2019, and the emphasis is on my top 10. This isn't all of the video games and then I'm judging them. This is based off the games that I myself personally have managed to play this year. So if there's something not in the list that you think should be there, for example, "Hey Az, Why isn't Days Gone on this list? It was a good video game. It's because I likely haven't played it. In the case of Days Gone, I didn't. So it's not on this list. So if there's a game that you think should be here that isn't here, it's because I likely didn't play it. And also it's my list. Specific to me. Okay, you get the drift. All right. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Number 10. WoW Classic PC. World of Warcraft Classic should and would score higher than just 10th spot, but due to the fact that Blizzard did some obscene banning based off some Chinese influence, in my view, they can't go any higher. And I was really looking forward to Classic WoW coming out, and when it did, I had 2 weeks or so of some really cool times. It's great to have returned back to an Azeroth that actually felt loved. It actually felt as if there was care and attention put into it, and with so much management of your character, being grounded again, having tougher mobs to fight against, leveling meaning something, all of these things added up to a fantastic experience. Unfortunately, I got ill very soon after its launch, and then, just as I was getting back on track, Blizzard decided to do the whole Blitzchung incident, and I decided that I would boycott Blizzard games until the ban on Blitzchung had either been rescinded or had served its time, which, according to Blizzard, is going to be 6 months. So it could be a hell of a long time until I return back to WoW Classic, if ever I do, because of this. Such a shame, because it really was a cool game. It's a really excellent world to return back to, but Blizzard be doing Blizzardy stuff, yo. Number 9. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Well, now here's an irony for you. Remember when EA said not too long ago, you know, guess what gamers don't want? They don't want single players anymore. They want live services. Yes, of course we did. Live services, of course, being the excuse just to chuck digital shit at everyone and say, buy me. But here we are, Jedi Fallen Order, published by EA, made by Respawn, people behind Titanfall, and it's a huge success for the company. A very well put together game. It had hints of multiple franchises which we all love, Uncharted, Tomb Raider, a little bit Dark Souls-y-ish put in here, there, or whatever. But it was a really good experience, and one thing that you'll probably see quite a lot on this top 10 list is single-player games. The acting was very tight, the combat was very tight, and it was just a really enjoyable experience for what I played so far. Haven't even finished the game, but I've had a wonderful time with it. Like the setting, I like the stories. I find that this story is much more compelling than anything I'd seen Star Wars-wise at a cinema in recent years, and you can take as much salt from that as you please. And I'm very much looking forward, based off the fact that this is now an official hit, whether or not we get a sequel and when it will be out. Fingers crossed it won't be rushed, but it is EA, so who knows. But makes number 9. Number 8, Man of Medan. PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. I never played Until Dawn, so maybe that's why I like this one as much as I did. I like a mystery game, and I think there's too few of them out there. And this was a very well put together, if short, version. You had a lot of different characters, and you had a lot of different choices. You had a lot of different fates, and the fact that you could do so much with this storyline, with it being so condensed, was just one of the great aspects of it. You made a choice that you weren't happy with? Yeah, fine. Next playthrough, change it. Switch it around. Purposely try to do what you want with the characters. Try and thin them off if you want, or try and keep them all alive. All the choices meant something, and they were very relevant indeed. And so the storyline went across very, very intimately, I think is a good way to put it. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. Very much looking forward to the next chapter, whatever it's going to be, whoever it's going to have, and whatever mystery there is to solve. I like this company, and I like the fact that they do these cool little games. Number 7, Link's Awakening. Nintendo Switch. I like my Switch. I think I like it a lot more than I think I do, which is a bit weird, but some of you might understand what I mean there. I mean, what I do mean is I don't play it on a massively regular basis, but when I do, I get really engrossed in whatever title I've been playing on there, whether it be Breath of the Wild or Octopath Traveler, or whatever it may be. This Link's Awakening was just beautiful. And with all our action adventure games and this, that, and the other, and tense this, and, you know, brain power into that, it was just so nice to play a game that had been remade from yesteryear that looked so gorgeous and was just really cute. It was just really cute to go around and play that old school action RPG. I mean, I kind of guess it is-ish, in a way, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And it was just really enjoyable. I loved getting the different talents. I loved going into the boss fights. I loved the little dungeons. And I was a Sega boy. I wasn't a Nintendo boy. So this was my chance to live it for the very first time. Number 6, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Some people might have expected this to be higher on the list, but this is my own personal experiences of these video games. And whereas I did like Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, I was not particularly good at it. I really want to give it another go. It's a matter of when, but I could never quite get the grasp of the combat, which was something that I heard a lot from a lot of players, but there seems to be some almost epiphany within the game where things just start to click and everything comes together. I was getting a lot better before I went off and whatever materialised that drew my attention away from this. But I do like my From Software games. I've always been a fan of the Dark Souls games and done quite well at that. So maybe I was trying to think too much like Dark Souls and not enough like Sekiro. I don't know. But this is definitely something I will revisit and give it the proper care and attention that it's due. Maybe then I'll think about it a little bit differently in terms of where it would place. But for right here and right now, and that's what's the important part, comes in at number 6. Number 5, The Outer Worlds. PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. What an absolute disaster of a year Bethesda have had. Not so much though for Obsidian. They've had an absolute blinder. Why is that important? Well, Obsidian were responsible, of course, for making Fallout New Vegas. A lot of people herald that as the best Fallout game. And The Outer Worlds showed that lightning also can strike twice because it wasn't a one-off. No, The Outer Worlds, they've out-Bethesda'd Bethesda. They've created these awesome worlds that seem to be a blend of their Fallout stuff and Borderlands stuff. Great characters, great personalities. The story's really interesting. The pathways, the choices that you can make are fantastic. And I got fully engrossed in The Outer World. Haven't quite finished it just yet, but the customization that you can do, everything that you can do, where you can go, all this sort of stuff, the companions that you get on your ship. This is a hell of a game. I'm going to keep my eye really firmly on Obsidian now, proving that they are genuine big hitters. And with their new RPG being shown off here and there, I think this is definitely a company for the future. Watch out, Bethesda. Coming for ya! Number 4, Death Stranding, PlayStation 4. Death Stranding, I think, is the Marmite, Vegemite of the gaming world. I think you either love it or you hate it. It doesn't seem to have too much middle ground. Why did it get so much flack by a lot of people? I think a lot expected it to be something it wasn't. Hideo Kojima hadn't revealed too much about the game. He didn't make any promises he didn't keep or anything like that. I think people just had this idea in their mind that it was going to be the next Metal Gear or that sort of same genre. But he did something I don't think's ever been done in a video game before. We have almost this travel simulator, and I absolutely loved it. Well, think of a travel simulator, and then think of a travel simulator that was given to Hideo Kojima and all of his, I mean, you could call it artisticness, his genius, his craziness, whatever way you fancy placing it. But there's no doubt in my mind that Death Stranding was something we haven't seen in a very long time indeed. And I just got it. I just felt the game. I thoroughly enjoyed doing what I was doing in it. The story kept me... I'm not going to pretend that I understood everything that was going on, but the story kept me engrossed for what I could understand. I really liked the idea of this courier going around reconnecting the world together. When the nasty little started coming, I enjoyed dodging between them, using my abilities, using the BB to discover them, using the grenades to pop them. I just got into it. Sticking up ladders, learning how to ride things eventually, posting stuff, finding stuff. This game just captivated me. The music was also unbelievable. But one thing about Death Stranding which really stood out was how incredible it looked. This was just an obscenely beautiful game. And when you are traveling, and the point is to discover and explore these vistas to get from point A to point F, X, Y to the power of 3, then you could actually see all of the world in all its glory, and it was utterly magnificent. I've got no idea what Hideo Kojima is going to do in the future, what his next idea is, if he has one at the moment. But I love his beautiful mind. I think it's sensational, and I loved Death Stranding. So, thank you very much, Mr. Kojima. Number 3, Apex Legends. PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Respawn make their second appearance in the top 10. That's got to be telling, surely. And a lot of people may be surprised at how high this game charts. But again, this is a subjective top 10 based on what I played this year. And I've played a hell of a lot of Apex Legends. I've loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I was playing Fortnite, quite enjoying a bit of Fortnite here or there. But Apex Legends came along, and for a brief moment in February, we thought we might have a legitimate contender to the Fortnite crown. What stopped that? Well, I don't think they expected the reaction that they were going to get for this game. I mean, obviously you dream, but it was a very unrealistic dream to have if you genuinely think about it. And to compete with Fortnite and the amount of money that Epic have got from Fortnite, you got to keep producing content. And Respawn could not keep up with that. So, yes, it has begun to cool down a wee bit, but it's still up there and it's still making itself plenty of money. I'm not saying that the developer side of things has been perfect. Calling your audience freeloaders was not the right thing to do. I think it's been monetized pretty poorly in terms of how much things have cost, etc. But when you're in the game itself, with the gunplay and the reviving and the pinging and the maps and all that sort of stuff, when you're in the game itself, this is damn good. And I'm very happy to have played as much as I've played this year. Number 2, Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. PC, PlayStation 4. This will probably come as no surprise to anybody who's played Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. This is an absolute humdinger of an expansion. The 3rd expansion now for Final Fantasy XIV. I never quite gelled with Stormblood. I thought the first half of Stormblood was very slow and bogged me down and sort of made me try other things. And then when I returned for the second half of Stormblood, it completely changed and was actually a very, very enjoyable expansion. But coming off the success of Heaven's Ward, they needed to go into Stormblood strong. They've regrouped, they've thought of things, they've come up with some really clever ideas, adapting the story which has been developed along the way, and we have Shadowbringers. It's incredible. We're going to one of the kind of copies of... It's very difficult to explain in just a short blurb, trust me. But they've kept the content flowing, and we've already got patch 5.2 arriving in February of next year, which is really good to see because they're diversifying things, chucking in different things here, there, and everywhere in an effort to try and give people at least something that you can gravitate towards. The raids have been wonderful, both Eden and the Nier Automata inspired raid, which I absolutely adore to pieces. There's more Eden coming in February. This has just been an absolute wonderful experience. It's totally reignited my love for this MMORPG, the second MMORPG which makes the top 10 list. And it's my go-to game. It's causing problems because I got a lot of stuff that I need to get through. But it's just so tempting to go, I'm just going to jump onto Final Fantasy 14 for a bit. Boom! 6 hours later. Oh, well. And I'm not in any shape, way or form disappointed in myself for doing so. Thoroughly well-deserved number 2, if you ask me, which means there's only one more game to go. Number 1. Resident Evil 2 Remake, PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
For the players.
Okay, so look, any opportunity I get to play that video, I'm going to take it. It's as simple as that. Resident Evil 2 Remake is my number 1 game. Look, it's my number 1 game by probably some distance, truth be told. I was so happy about everything fell into place for this game. Number 1, it released on my birthday. It was meant to be. And I was a huge fan of the early Resident Evil games. And when Resident Evil 6 came around, yeah, I was sad. I was disappointed by what it offered. And when Resident Evil 7 came out, and it was something different, and I enjoyed it, but there was a slight melancholy about it as well, because it changed from third person to first person. It wasn't a character I've dealt with before. And it was like moving to a new school. It's all exciting and everything, but you kind of miss your friends at the end of the day. And I really missed my friends. I love Ada Wong. I love Leon S. Kennedy. I love Claire Redfield. I love Jill Valentine. Chris is alright, I suppose. I love these characters. And so when the remake was announced, I was so excited. And this is not just some HD nonsense. This is a proper ground-up, rebuilt, based off a 20-year-old game, 21-year-old game. So to see it, in my opinion, on the technology, on the platform that it truly deserved to be shown, suddenly you had this series which was probably more well known for its bad acting and its memes, and genuinely turned it into something very, very frightening indeed. Even if they are cheap jump scares, it still works. It always keeps you on edge. It always keeps you, well, pooing your pants. To be perfectly honest with you, as you saw from that bit. I adored this game. I can't wait for Resident Evil 3 in April. I can't wait to have myself scared witless. I can't wait until I scream, war cry like a girl, like a legend, like a hero. Resident Evil ticked all the boxes. It was so much fun. It got the heart pumping. You are number 1. So there you go. There are my top 10 games for 2019. And I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up. And also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming links. They're in the description box down below. Big thank you again to the sponsor of this, BenQ. All those details for the light are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.